Okay, let's look at another expression. This would be our last expression in infix to postfix conversion, correct? So basically we will do with direct method first, and then we will use the stack method to do it. So now we will evaluate all the parentheses first. We will evaluate the left parenthesis first. Here I'll say here a b plus, therefore this parenthesis is gone because we have evaluated the only operator that is there in the parenthesis. And now I will write star, and here after evaluating this I will write it as it is. I will write it as it is. Therefore, as I have already told you, once you have evaluated the sub expression, you write the rest of the expression as it is. Now after this we can clearly see that this is the leftmost parenthesis, therefore we have to evaluate this. How do we do that? I will say ab plus star, exponential has greater precedence than minus, therefore evaluate exponential first. So I'll say cd to the power minus e to the power, write the rest of the expression as it is. Now we need to evaluate minus. We are evaluating this expression, therefore we need to evaluate minus. Exponential has already been evaluated, therefore I'll say ab plus star. I can destroy the parenthesis because the only operator that is left to evaluate is minus, right? cd to the power e minus to the power f plus g star h. Therefore, now the only parenthesis that is left is this one. In this also we need to evaluate first g and h, g star h, and then plus, right? So I will write the rest of the parenthesis as it is. cd to the power e minus to the power, I will say here f plus gh star, correct? Now after this we need to evaluate this operator. So I'll say here ab plus star cd to the power e minus to the power f g h star plus, correct? So now we can clearly see that we have evaluated this plus. So to evaluate star is left, we need to evaluate star, and also we need to evaluate this exponential. All other operators in the parenthesis have been already evaluated. So once we see this, we can clearly see, right? We need to evaluate star and exponential. So between these two, what has the higher precedence? Obviously the exponential has the higher precedence, but the question is what would be our operand 1 and what would be our operand 2. Normally what happens, we make a mistake that we say that this whole thing, this from a to e, is operand 1. No, it is not operand 1. Why? Because star is yet to be evaluated. Therefore operand 1 would be the expression or the sub expression after the star operator from left to right. Therefore this actually would be our operand 1, and obviously the star and plus have already been evaluated, therefore the whole thing will be operand 2. Therefore this will be our operand 1, and this will be, the whole thing will be our operand 2, correct? So now I'll just write ab plus star as it is, and then cd to the power e, right? Power e. Now we need to evaluate exponential. Therefore the operand would be this as well. Yeah, this also, right? E minus, correct? I'll say here f g h star plus and exponential. Now the operator that is yet to be evaluated is this star. Therefore it is easy now. Right now this would be operand 1, this whole thing would be operand 2. I'll say ab plus cd to the power e minus f g h star plus to the power star, right? Correct? So now we have evaluated, or we have converted our infix expression into postfix expression. This is the answer. Let us see whether we have done it right using the stack method. In the stack method, we need to evaluate each and every token from left to right, and whenever we encounter an operator, we need to push it into the stack, right? So now I will say here parenthesis, I will push parenthesis into the stack, nothing in the output, right? After this comes a. A is not an operator, therefore I will write a in the output. I'll have plus. Now I have parenthesis here, I will push plus into the stack because it is an operator. I will write a as it is, right? Now I encounter here B, the next token is B. So now I will write it as it is. I'll say A, B, right? And then I close the bracket here. Once I close the bracket, I have already discussed in the previous videos that once you close the bracket, whatever operator is there in the bracket has to be popped out. So I'll say A, B plus, and this bracket would be destroyed. So there is nothing in the stack that is left now. Then comes star. I will push star into the stack and I'll say A, B plus, right? Then comes the open parenthesis. Therefore, I will write the open parenthesis after the star and I'll say here A, B plus. Then comes C. I will write it as it is. Then I will say A, B plus C. Then comes exponential, right? Exponential, so I'll say exponential A, B plus C. I will push exponential after the parenthesis, correct? Then I will say here D. Then I will write it as it is A, B plus C, D. Then minus. Now what? Now the incoming operator is minus and the operator in the stack is exponential. Minus has lesser precedence than that of exponential. Therefore, I will pop exponential out. Therefore, I will just pop it here only. I will pop exponential out and I will push minus into the stack. Then it becomes like this, correct? And then that I have now E. I will write E as it is, right? E as it is. Then I have my closing parenthesis, right? Star minus close. Once I close it, I pop minus out. I will say here plus CD to the power E minus, this whole thing is destroyed, and then only operator that is left in the stack is the star operator, correct? Then I have the exponential operator. Again, now I have the exponential operator. I have to compare exponential with the multiplication operator. It has greater precedence. Therefore, I will push exponential into the stack and this remains the same. Okay, this remains the same, right? And then I have the opening bracket here again. Opening bracket, star, exponential, opening bracket. This remains the same. I will not write it again. This remains the same, correct? Then I have F here. I will add F here itself. I will add F here itself. Then now I have what? Plus. So I have plus. Once I have plus, then what I will do? I will just add plus after the opening parenthesis. Then comes G. G is not an operator. Therefore I will just add G to the output, correct? And then I have star, right? Now I will compare star with plus. Star has greater precedence. Therefore, I will push star into the stack, correct? Into the stack here, correct? Now I have H, right? I will just write H because H is not an operator. I can just write H here as it is, correct? And then I have the closing parenthesis. Once I have the closing parenthesis, we know that I can pop out all the elements inside the open and the close parenthesis. Therefore, let me just repeat writing this expression F, G, H, and once I have closing parenthesis, I will pop out star first, then I'll pop out plus, yes, then this is gone, which means that now the whole expression has been evaluated completely, and then whatever is left in the stack I'll pop out. What is left? Exponential operator is left and then star is left. Once I pop out, the stack is empty and our postfix expression is AB plus CD to the power E minus FGH star plus exponential star. This is exactly the same as we have got in the direct conversion. Therefore, our answer is right, and whatever the method we have done is also correct, right? So if you have any doubts whatsoever, you can please comment in the comment section. I will be happy to answer you and clarify your doubts. Thank you for watching. You can also watch the previous videos of Infix to Postfix for any clarification of your doubts. I have converted, or I have made sure that each and every condition is explained. I have not left out any condition for conversion of Infix to Postfix. Thank you for watching.